because I love Philip Bailey, but nobody had a voice like I think Maurice White was one of the most underrated vocalists of our time.
Mm-hmm.
For what he brought to the game, and Earth, Wind and Fire, and a lot of those groups from back then, Prince, and Earth, Wind and Fire was of course before Prince, but a lot of these guys from back then and that whole '70s vibe. What I loved about it was you had to be a musician to get anywhere back then, and a lot of these artists that are in different modern forms of music, they get an auto tune and and they get a drum machine and suddenly they got a top 5 single. And I know in the '70s, if you didn't have talent, you didn't get anywhere. Now you had to have talent, you had to have obviously great representation, and you have a lot of things fall into place. But it all started and ended with some kind of talent. And I mean, I was listening to America. I was listening to some old John Lennon songs actually earlier today. I mean, a lot of those songs from the '70s, I just can't get enough of, and and I think like it was a culture then. I say all the time, I'm just an old hippie, if I could jump in a Winnebago and put on America's Greatest Hits and sail into the sunset, I'd probably do it, but
I know, isn't that fun?
Yeah. So I mean, I love that era. To me, there was nothing like it, and so yeah.
In the sound of the recordings back then, I mean, you listen to everything from the Eagles to it's just and the Who's Next and all that and Quadrophenia, the way it was all put together, and you're not in it one track, or it's all in a studio. This is how it's done.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you just got in there and did it. And one of the things that I've had a conversation with folk about, people go, man, you should use, the auto-tune and voice corrector. And I've said to them, I go, no, man, I'm just going to go through it. Like a lot of those vocals you hear on my songs.
Yeah.
I may have done several takes to get it done, but you best believe when you look at a verse, I sang the entire verse. I didn't sing 3 words and went back and added in 2 more and 1 more, because I think you got to catch that vibe, man. You got to catch it. It's a feeling you get. You got to, try to put it together in a way that when people hear it, there's continuity, And so and I think there was a lot of that in the '70s, way more than now. Stuff is pieced together now, and and I think that's why so many artists now, when it comes time to play live, they're scared, about the crap in their pants, because they're like, oh my God, people are going to actually hear what I sound like. And I'm old school, man. There was a rock band I was in before I got back into my solo thing. And it was a band called Level 21, and great guys and all that. But when I showed up, the lead vocalist before me, he had to have the lyrics on pieces of paper on stage. It was the craziest thing I ever heard of, And and he wanted to use iPads to read the lyrics like karaoke night. I couldn't believe it. And so I'm from the old school, man. You got to know your show. You got to work on your craft. And you got to hit the right notes live, just like when I was a kid. The biggest thing in the '70s was when you go see somebody live. I'm not sure if you remember this, but you go see somebody live. It was a big deal when you could say they sounded just like the record. That was like a badge of honor.
Always now. It still is. It sounds exactly that. To me, is the ultimate. They sound just like they should sound when I go and see them.
Yeah, but you got a lot of artists out there who feel like that's not necessary. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's the key. The records and how they didn't have Now you're just mixing tracks back then, so they're taking the vocals and that's what anybody's doing now. They're doing the same, but you're also saying they're like changing what they sound like, and I guess you can probably, obviously you can, but then release them.
Oh goodness, yeah, it's true.
I didn't realize all that stuff. I just thought they were singing and then adding it all together and mixing it. But that's what I know, Because it's kind of funny because I do this thing live. Like right now, when I say anything, I don't cut back out. I don't edit it out. I don't know if I'm talking about good. Then that. Hey, it is what it is. Oh, I love
No
it,
kidding.
man. To hear all those stories and all that's put all together. But yeah. So what's going to be going on for you? Hopefully in the future. I mean, as far as getting out,
Well,
more production. We got like
we're getting
17
a.
minutes left. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay, cool. Well, we're getting a lot of stuff going on right now. We're promoting the single "Get the Funk," which right now, for what I understand, is the number 2 R&B song in South Africa, and it's the number 12 overall on iTunes. Number 2 on iTunes with R&B in the category R&B, and it's number 12 in South Africa overall. And so we're doing that. We've also submitted that song out to hopefully get a Grammy nomination for it. And so we got our fingers crossed on that end to get it on the ballot and get the nomination. So that's a song that we're promoting. And then other than that, we're working on some things with some sponsorship deals and things of that nature. And so there's a lot of stuff in the bank, doing some interviews and just trying to get the word out about what I'm doing, and I mean, people that don't know me don't understand that, my shows are something different. If you come to a concert of mine and you find yourself just kind of sitting around, thinking I'm going to be standing around on stage with a mic in my hand, singing like I'm scared of myself, then you came to the wrong concert, man. I run my concerts much in the tradition of Rick James and people like that, to where there ain't no grass going underneath my feet on stage, man. I'm giving them energy and we get through it, man. It's an exciting thing, Eventually, what we're going to be doing is putting in a bass guitar solo into my act, when we get a little bit further up the road here. But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of different stuff, man. Eventually, right now, the concerts that I do, I come out and I sing the words in with my bass guitar, and we deliver it. But eventually, we're going to have a live band behind me. The band that I'm going to have is going to be something different. I'm just going to leave it at that. They're going to look different, And but yeah, so we're going to be doing the tour thing. But a lot of the tour and things like that has been held up because of the virus, and there's nothing we can do about that. So yeah, we're just trying to get the word out, man. I'm trying to get people to understand that, I'm an artist, man. I make different types and forms and genres of music. They're all tied together by the same guy singing them all. So it ain't, But I got, some rock joints. I think people have heard "Time Keeps On," which is an alternative rock thing. And then I've got one song called "Darling Nikki," which is kind of a tribute to Prince's "Darling Nikki." That's, a lot of people are kind of mumbling about. I got a song called "Irresistible Biatch," which is kind of another slow, kind of I guess you could say a stripper kind of song. And, then we got the "Sunglasses at Night" and the coronavirus song. I got a song called "Everybody Wild Out," which is a rock song. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff going on, I had a video I posted from a song called "Them Girls," which is kind of a upbeat, kind of butt-shaking, kind of a, I want to say kind of,
yeah.
What's that?
I saw one of your videos. It definitely was a booty shaking one, something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I got some stuff going on, and we're going to be dropping the full-length official video to Get the Funk here in just about the next week. I believe it'll be all done, and it's a full-length 3-minute, kind of, thing, and it's a lot of fun. We're midstream with that one and putting footage together and just getting it in its stages, and we're trying to get my brother Freddie, who does the sax solo in it, into the video, and in a really smooth way, considering that everybody's got a social distance. So we're trying to work it all out, and so there's a lot of stuff going on, man. I'm really excited. People who hear this, you got to get on to Instagram and follow me. I'm at Billy Ray Rock 1, the number 1, at Instagram. I'm same handle at Twitter at Billy Ray Rock 1. Same handle at TikTok at Billy Ray Rock 1. My website is BillyRayRock.com. You can go there and find out a bunch of interesting stuff and information about me and where I come from and the family that I have and just, some other things and insights and things like that. You can maybe get in touch with some Billy Ray Rock T-shirts and paraphernalia, and just a lot of different things that's going on and going to be going on. And so it's a lot. It's a lot happening, man. People DM me if you hear something you like that I'm doing. I don't like. I try to monitor my social media as close as I can. I'm always in the studio and all that kind of thing, but I try to find time to respond to folks as much as I can. So that's what we got going on.
Yeah, you're hooking up big time with MTS Records and Michael Stolfer and distribution, especially overseas, South Africa.
Oh, absolutely.
I've known Michael now about 3 years, and all the stuff he's done for me and everybody in MTS. You're out there all over the world is where you're at, and that's cool stuff.
Absolutely, man. I feel blessed to have Michael and MTS, believe in me and do the things that they do to put my stuff in front of people. I say all the time, Rome was not built by one person. It was built by a community, and I got to tell you, it takes a community to get these kind of projects off the ground. And Michael at MTS Records and everybody, man, they're doing a phenomenal job and putting me in front of people and just believing in what I'm doing and my vision. And I'm a difficult artist, because I do so many genres. I had to scare a lot of people. The way MTS has embraced who I am, and they've embraced putting me in front of people who appreciate the different styles and flavor that I bring to the table, And so, so I'm really excited to be with them, and I feel blessed that they believe in what I do. Yeah, so this is great.
Yeah, the label's all about that. Ed Roman, very much, he does very talented, all the different instruments by himself. It's amazing the stuff that he's doing up in Canada, and yourself and everybody. So that is just cool stuff. Billy Ray Rock jamming Humagoo with the funk tonight, everybody. And tell us a little bit about, what do you think, when do you think you might be able to get out and about besides all this Kavona stuff? I mean, online. Do you think you have any more productions for us or anything we can see soon? We got about 10 minutes left. Anything soon online?
Sure. I mean, I got the video that you're going to see here pretty soon coming for Get the Funk. We'll likely be doing a live stream concert soon, is what I hear. I don't have a date, but that'll be happening online to try to keep people engaged and kind of watching my moves and all that. But in terms of live concerts, I'm kind of dictated by crowding like everybody else, man. I got no control over that. But as soon as humanly possible, I'd like to get out and perform live and bring it to people in person.
Because I vision it's going to be that energy show that you're talking about. You're going to stop with your bass and the bass. What I always love to talk about the instruments that the artists have. What different types? What is your favorite instrument of that? Should I say? I mean, different basses, you see all different styles. John Entwistle from the Who, and Stanley Clarke. And tell me enlighten me a little bit about that.
It's a lot of Stanley Clarke, but it's a whole lot of Louis Johnson. I like Louis Johnson from the Brothers Johnson because I want the bass to be a part of what makes people move. I'm not, Stanley Clarke was more of a soloist as the song went by, and Louis Johnson is a part of that rhythm section and makes people tap their feet, and that's always been kind of more my preference, when it comes to these kind of things, But it's one of those things that you try to bring people into what it is that you do, to get people to be involved in how you bring your flavor of music to them. And I think like when you start talking about doing an instrument, a bass guitar, and you start talking about doing that kind of thing, it becomes kind of difficult when folks don't appreciate the instrumentation and what's involved in doing these performances, and even when he